Hello, everyone. So the purpose of this video today will be to help you complete this outline, but also to send this message so you are creating a well-balanced argument. Okay, so that should be the purpose of this assignment. It should be able to help you to create that argument that hopefully will be able to address uh, multiple audiences and that will help you make an argument that is pretty solid and concrete and very direct. So I just really have one slide to share with you before I show you how to complete the assignment. And it is just to answer this question of how will we make a balanced argument. So we will use appeals to emotion, credibility, and logic, which is the pathos, ethos, and logos that we have been reviewing for the last few classes. So this will be the moment where you will put it into practice. And I believe for the most part, you guys know what you're doing. There may be a few of you that struggle, but that's okay because once you turn in the assignment, I will give you feedback, and hopefully, if you didn't do well, you can redo it and do it better. Okay. So, like I said, you have those appeals to those three factors, and that is because combining these persuasion strategies will allow you to make an argument that is well rounded and caters to multiple audiences. So that is this part that is the most important. That it is well rounded and that it is for multiple audiences. Because maybe some people are just receptive to pathos, maybe others are receptive to pathos and logos, but not ethos. Maybe somebody needs to be receptive to all three of them in order to actually feel persuaded. So we're trying to cover as much ground as possible with this essay by appealing to these three uh, factors of emotion, credibility, and logic. Okay, and this will be a 5 paragraph essay with an introduction and a conclusion, and then in the middle you will have 1 paragraph for each appeal, and you will have to support that with evidence, and that is going to be the purpose of the outline you will complete. It will be to hopefully give you the information you need for your introduction, but also uh, the base that you will use to complete the rest of your essay. Okay, so that is why we have to make sure that we are using the ethos, pathos, and logos. It is to make sure we have that very well-rounded argument. Okay, so now let me go into what you guys have to do. All right. Whoops. In here, you will see a link. I didn't put it up. But once you click on there, it will take you to something like this. Okay. And like usual, you will click File and you will make a copy. And in that copy, you will be able to write. And make sure that you keep this in a folder that you will not lose because you will need to go back to this to complete your essay. So let me quickly go over what's in here. So first, you have in here 3 prompts. Well, you have the instructions, which I will go over verbally right now. You have these 3 prompts. These are about the 3 topics of choices we've been using for this class. And what you will do is you will highlight the one you will be working on. So if you've been writing about abortion, then you would go here once you've made the copy. And up here, click on this icon, highlight color, and you will highlight it. Okay, and that will tell me that you're working on that specific topic. Okay, then you will just follow the progression. First, write your position. So in here, it was, should abortion be a legal right protected under the law? And here you will tell me yes or no. Abortion should or shouldn't be a right protected under the law, and that's it. So in here you tell me your position. Then you will notice 1, 2, 3 boxes. Each one for one of those rhetorical devices. So for pathos, ethos, and logos right here. And you will do pretty much the same task in every single one of these tables, in these boxes. The first thing you will do is you will write a reason that supports your position and that appeals to, in this case, pathos or emotion. And here is the same. What is the reason you have supporting your position that appeals to credibility, which is ethos? And then the same right here with logos, with logic. Okay, and then this bottom question is the same, the exact same in all three of these tables. What is your evidence to support your claim? So in here you're going to put the evidence that will help you. And this will be a 2-day assignment because it's kind of lengthy. So what will happen is that if you do finish today and you turn it in 1 day, I will look at it. I will give you feedback, and then the following day you can look at it. And if you need to fix anything, you can fix that, and then hopefully get a higher grade. But keep that in mind that this will be a 2-day job. If you finish early, turn it in. I'll give you feedback. If not, turn it in until the following day. Or if you're turning in this late, then just try to finish ASAP. Let me see. Okay, so in this part, it is your evidence from a text, and the texts are all right here. So you can use any of these to use as evidence, but you can also use the internet, especially because in here you have to include your source. So you have to tell me where you found it. You can put just the title of the text. You can put a link or anything like that. So if you use something from outside of the internet, that's fine, but you need to tell me where. Okay? And I already have an outline completed. So this is it. And let me go over that kind of quickly so you see what I mean. So first of all, I highlighted my issue of choice. Since I've been using climate change all this time as an example, I actually included this and then highlighted it. So in your document right here, you only have 3. In this one, I have 4 because I included this one. Okay, but I included it again just to have an example. So the first thing I do is put my position, which is that climate change should be considered an immediate threat to human survival. And then I have this filled out. So a reason that appeals to emotion, that supports my position right here. It is, if we as humans do not act quick, our children and grandchildren may not have a habitable place to live in. So my appeal to emotion is that our children and grandchildren will not longer have a place to live in. And then this is the evidence that will support it. So earlier this year, Indonesia announced its plans to move the capital city away from Jakarta. Home to over 10 million people, some parts of Jakarta are sinking as much as 25 centimeters per year. So this supports what I said about the planet not being habitable, because in here you already have an example of a city that is sinking. And it is emotional because the children will not have a place to live anymore in the future. Okay, so that is an example for pathos. For ethos, remember, it's the credibility. So you need something or someone that is knowledgeable about the topic that will support and back up your opinion. So in here I did put the important organizations such as NASA and the IPCC have expressed climate change will continue to have an impact and have made predictions of it. So again, in here I included NASA and IPCC, and these are the organizations that give me credibility because they're knowledgeable about this topic, and if they argue with what I'm saying, then there has to be some truth to my argument. And here's the evidence. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change can be a threat because temperatures are expected to rise 2.5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and sea levels will rise to flood islands and coasts. Okay, and in here, again, here's my source, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. On this last one I forgot, but here's also my source. This is the website where I found it. So I just copied and pasted the link. But going back to this, in here, I'm referring to the IPCC, and this is what the report said. So that's my evidence, and that is giving me credibility, and it's also supporting my claim that climate change is a threat. Okay, and lastly, logos. So this just has to be logical, and then you have to support it with statistics, facts, something like that. And then in here it says the average temperature is rising and sea levels are rising. So that's my logic. The temperature is rising. Yes, it is. And because of that, the glaciers are melting and sea levels are indeed rising. So that's logical, but I need to back it up with evidence. Otherwise, it may just sound like a claim I'm making up. So if I go down here, again, source, it's NASA. So NASA has put this in the website. The planet's average surface temperature has risen about 1.62 degrees Fahrenheit or 0.9 degrees Celsius since the 19th century. So this sentence right here backs up my claim that the temperature is rising. And then after that, I will need to elaborate on how that is a danger, just like in the quote I showed you guys earlier about Jakarta. Okay, so you will complete this on your own. It may be a 2-day job, but if you finish, share it with me. And if you finish in the first day of instruction, I will try and give you feedback that night. And hopefully that will help you get a higher grade and submit it later. If not, just turn it in on the second day. Okay, that's it.